Hey, what's up guys? So in our previous video we went through all the components of your PC. So today we are going to have an in-depth explanation of the two most essential components inside your PC, the processor and the motherboard. Coming to the motherboard. Motherboards may be classified in terms of size. So the most common sizes of motherboards are micro ATX like this one, mini ATX, ITX, extended ATX and ATX. The motherboard sizes completely depend upon your application. For example, if you're building a server, you would use a server motherboard. But if you're building a desktop PC, you would use one like this one or a larger one. This right here is the processor socket. The processor is mounted to this socket. Depending on your processor manufacturer, the processor socket might or might not have pins on them. Also situated on your motherboard is the chipset. The chipset acts like a bridge between the processor and the motherboard. The type of chipset you use completely depends on your application. And depending on the chipset you use, the motherboard may have increased or decreased features. So let's talk about the sockets and slots on the motherboard. This here is the DIMM slot. The RAM module is installed in this. This right here is the PCI Express socket. Into this, various expansion cards like your graphics card or maybe a Wi-Fi or Bluetooth adapter can be installed. The motherboard receives power through this 24-pin socket. These SATA ports here facilitate the data transfer between your hard drives and the processor. Situated on the rear part of the motherboard is the I/O panel. A number of ports are situated here. These are the PS2 slots. You can connect a keyboard and a mouse to this. This is the VGA port. This port gives output to your monitor. There are also a number of USB ports here. You can connect external hard drives and also peripherals like a keyboard and mouse to them. The Ethernet port is situated above these USB ports. You can connect your PC to a network via this port. There are also a number of 3.5 mm audio jacks here to connect speakers and also microphone. Older mice and keyboard used to be connected to the PS2 slots here, whereas new peripherals are usually connected to the USB ports here. These are USB 3 slots and they have higher speeds compared to the USB slots here. This is the CPU or the Central Processing Unit, and like its name says, this chip processes all the tasks that you perform on your PC. The CPU is divided into various logical processors known as cores. The greater the amount of cores, the greater the amount of information that your processor can process at one moment. The rate at which it performs tasks is known as its clock speed, and the clock speed is a frequency that is measured in hertz. The higher the clock speed, the higher rate at which it will perform tasks. The two major manufacturers of processors are Intel and AMD. While selecting a cooler for your processor, you need to know the TDP of your processor or its thermal design power or the rate at which the processor heats. The processor may be attached to the motherboard socket using pins if you are using an AMD processor or contacts like these if you have an Intel processor. So this was our video on the processor and the motherboard. If you learned something new, stay tuned for the rest of our series. We hope you liked this video. Share and subscribe. Thank you.